How's it going, YouTube?
Hello.
David and Jonathan here. And we just watched Fear the Walking Dead. So, welcome to the first episode of Fear the Off Topic.
No, there will be none of that. None of that at all. We're not that kind of show.
Fine. This is Off Topic.
It is.
And of course, like I just introduced, we're going to talk about the first episode of Fear the Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm. Season 1, Episode 1, pilot episode.
The premiere!
Good stuff.
All the good stuff. So, of course, before we get started, we'd just like to first say spoilers, because we are going to talk about it. We're going to talk from the beginning all the way to the end about what happened and what we're going to critique it. We're not just going to fanboy it out, Jonathan.
I wore the t-shirt and everything.
Charmander Shepherd.
I just got Walking Dead.
I'm a nerd.
I do.
I have a Walking Dead shirt, but it don't fit anymore. Anyways.
I got like 7 Walking Dead shirts. Anyways, now I'm about to get some...
And trading cards and dog tags.
And dog tags and stickers and posters.
Tattoo on his butt cheek. Oh, I'm not supposed to know about that.
Well, I mean, okay. It'd be creepy if you knew which one, left or right. But anyways.
Alright, so let's get started into this. This is AMC, of course. It's not some other company, and it's the West Coast.
West Coast.
First and foremost, yeah, LA actually, more specific, and this is really good choice in my opinion. It's a heavily dense, populated area.
Yep.
It's a change of scenery. I mean, we got really used to the damn forage in the southeast
in
area.
my opinion, The Walking Dead, it started off in Atlanta, which is a big city itself. Mm-hmm. But then they were running away, to like the rural areas, like, farm, forest, grasslands. Here in this Fear the Walking Dead, I'm kind of hoping that they're going to stay in urban environments so we can see urban survival going on.
I do too,
like,
honestly.
No more picking berries in the wilderness. It's
wiping your ass with poison ivy.
Yeah, no, this is like legit. You got to break into someone's home and take their stuff.
Which, yeah, we're gonna see. This is the beginning of the epidemic. Mm-hmm. And of course, in this universe, there's no such thing as zombies or zombie movies. They don't know zombie.
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman has told us, yeah. It's even in the comics, when asked about the comics, they don't know about it. So, of course, they have their own names for it later on. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we're curious what they're going to call them.
Yes. Are they going to stay true and call them walkers? Or are they going to call them zombos? What are they going to call them?
Well, I feel like walkers was Rick's group.
Yeah.
And so, and we saw with all the other groups that they met in Walking Dead, they all had their own name for it.
Geeks, roamers,
biters. Yeah. So we'll see if they got creative, or is it going to be like, corpses, or
the dead. Generic name right there.
So we didn't get that answered in the first episode, but of course, it's the first episode. Yeah. Shit's not going to hit the fan to the full extent. It did start off a little slow. I mean, not as slow as some of the others made it out to be, but I felt like it was great balance between showing us the places and not hitting us too much with the characterization. However, there is a lot. You're following just one family unit, really, or at least in this first episode. Right. And it's just, I guess, a better starting point than just like a whole group or multiple characters in different little...
Right. Well, I mean, Walking Dead just introduced us to Rick Grimes. Everybody knows him from the comics. Mm-hmm. But here we're meeting some poor kid named Nick, and we just find him waking up in a drug house.
In a drug house? No, it's not a house. It's a church.
House of God! Checkmate. Anyways, we find him, like, just waking up from a good high. I was just thinking Jesse Pinkman was going to show up and like, "Yo, what up, bitch?" That would have been great. But no, it's not. It's not. Okay.
Damn it.
They're a few states away. And right off the bat, you see a walker right there. It's an awkward boner because she's like a girl
in her underwear.
And then she just looks at you with the face and the eyes, and you're like, blood everywhere. She's eating someone. She's got like a knife through her chest. So
right here.
Like, yeah. It is.
And he stumbled. It was like a slow first scene. He stumbled around in that church.
Screaming across names and stuff. Oh my
God. He's calling for her, and it wasn't until like a whole almost like 2 minutes of him wandering around that you actually hear like somebody.
Yeah.
He finally finds a body of some dude, and you can't even tell really his method of death, except for there's a bunch of blood all over here and all that. He freaks out a little, and then he continues on into the church, and then he hears the noises and comes across the girl Gloria. Mm-hmm. I do remember that name.
Oh my gosh!
And she's kneeled over, chewing on some dude's face.
Mm-hmm. Scares the boy out of his mind, and just like in the trailer, you see this guy running out. Oh my gosh, screaming and
gets hit by a car.
Hit by a car. My gosh!
And there were sidewalks too. That dumbass.
Mm-hmm. Running down the middle of the street, get hit by a car.
So that's Nick.
That's Nick.
And of course, the whole first episode, most of it goes around his whole personal trial of he's trying to figure out if he was tripping or not, if what he saw was real. And he spends time in the hospital, of course, confined because it becomes a police matter. Mm-hmm. And he's still pondering. And his, new stepfather, who's played by Cliff Curtis, is the first one to really hear him out. We're introduced to Cliff Curtis's character Travis and his new wife Madison, who is the counselor, the mother of Nick, and you're starting to get hit by the family relations already at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, they are a classic. We don't like each other family. Like the whole I'm gonna wear headphones, gonna block everybody out.
Oh yes, the daughter Alicia. Yeah. Yeah, the very first thing you see, the first moment you see of her is the mom's getting everybody ready for the day, and she just flings the bathroom door open, and Alicia's there with the towel and like this, but she doesn't she's like, God damn it, Mom.
Not as awkward boner.
Not as awkward boner. It's a more appropriate boner.
Appropriately.
I kind of like the look of Alicia. I'm gonna go off on a little side note right now about the casting here. The character Alicia Clark is played by Alicia Denham Carey.
I don't know.
Oh, it's spelled different. I think it's Alicia as well. And she kind of reminds me of a cross between Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch, and Miley Cyrus. I say Miley Cyrus because of some of the way the facial structure. Like the cheekbones and that.
See, I don't read into like that. I read into the character themselves, and she was just a classic, high schooler. Oh my gosh, everybody.
I wasn't talking about characterization when I listened to those two actresses.
I get that, but I mean, I just care about character itself. I don't really care for the images.
Well, what I was gonna get to, is it was interesting casting with this actress because, of course, right off the bat, you got to get some of the fans interested in a female character in a way. That's just television nowadays. Some of us need that drive. And she's gorgeous. And she did a great job acting with that teenager. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm going to block the world out. Mom, you're annoying. Oh my God. And you could tell in parts of this episode she was close with her brother. But she's kind of at a point where it's like, I'm tired of this bullshit. You need to drop him.
Yeah, because
of all his drug use.
Yeah, her brother's a drug addict, and she's like, man, there's no good enabling this guy because all we're doing is making him, feel like he's not important and important. So it's just one of those make a move, family, make a move.
But of course they tough it out like a family.
Like a family would.
Good family, I suppose. And with them, what we learned is Madison and Travis both work at the school.
I'm pretty sure that's how they met.
Hey, that's one of those you don't need to actually hear it. You can piece it together yourself.
Exactly. It's one of those, she's the counselor, he's a teacher. Yeah.
And it works, and right off of that, you get that sense. You also, right off the bat, when she entered the school, they start talking about, flu shots, did you get it?
Oh, like those work. Right?
This is not the flu. Ha ha ha. You guys are in for a ride. They had to drop that in. I'm glad they didn't drop it so quickly. And I'm glad they didn't do a newsreel montage kind of thing.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's like, there was a person shot in Wyoming. Oh, another was shot in Detroit. Oh wait, no, never mind. That would be normal. And I'm glad they didn't go that route. I'm really happy that it got slipped in through first talking about the vaccines, the shots or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a student who walked through the metal detector. It's an LA school, of course, it's got metal detectors. And it goes off, and he's like, "It's okay, I'm okay, I'm okay." Yeah. And the principal wanted to instigate, but Madison slipped right in and pocket.
Well, she knows the student because she called him by his name, and she was over here checking pockets, and then immediately she was like, "Okay, come to my office," She like scoops in and takes him, and boom, finds out that he's carrying a knife. Yeah,
and the character his name is Tobias.
Yeah,
and he looks like one of those typical.
He looks like, in my opinion, I thought he was a nerd who was getting bullied, and that's why he had a knife, because he was like, "I'm gonna show that bully what's up."
Yeah,
but no, he started talking funny. He was like, "No, haven't you been watching the news? It's."
I think the first thing he really says, when she pulls him into her office, is, "We're safer in numbers."
Yeah, he's been saying like mumbling stuff like, "We're safe in numbers," not making sense. But when he's trying to make sense, it's like it's all over the news. There's too many attacks. You can link it together. It's not a flu. It's something else.
Instead of a montage, we get to hear it from the character that fills the role of the wise, socially awkward person who's like, "I know everything."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a samurai sword ready.
He probably at home can't sneak that into school.
Samurai sword.
Shut up. It's decor. And I feel like there's going to be at least one more good bit with this kid. Yeah,
because he's only in 2 episodes in the season, spoiler alert.
It's on IMDb. It says 2 episodes. I also, but, logically by writing, I feel like there's only one more good scene, and then there's going to be some sense of irony. Mm-hmm. Walking Dead does it.
Yeah.
Why not Fear the Walking Dead?
Well, same people that made it.
Yeah, so, and one thing I do want to mention, a good difference between this series and The Walking Dead.
Other than East and West Coast?
Well, the style that they did a lot for the cinematography was, we got really used to Walking Dead being up and close with them.
Right.
Now, granted, they didn't use any close-up shots in this first episode. They used a lot, actually, especially just typical over-the-shoulder dialogue ones. They were up in your face. They were almost extreme close-ups. But they had a lot of good establishing shots and inserts of, you could see in the distance in the foreground LA or the hills and the city in motion, all the cars and everything. It was open, whereas Walking Dead was very, in my opinion, enclosed. You're very close. It's almost like you're on their back the whole time. It's a video game. It's in third person. You're following them. And it felt always confined to me. Either it be inside the prison, inside the forest, or even an open space. You're up on them. Whereas this one, it didn't do the middle ground. Mm-hmm. It did the close or the far. And they gave a different feel.
Which is really good because Walking Dead, I got really used to, being with them. Like, I know that even though they're out in the middle of nowhere, that I'm trapped just like they are. They got nowhere to go. It's an escape, confinement. Here, it's the beginning. And I'm feeling that because it's the very beginning of everything, they're going to say, "Hey, look, freedom, all these options, all these choices, got everywhere to go."
We're definitely going to probably, if they do stick with an urban sense or strategy, we're going to get that feel of enclosement. Well, we'll see if it follows cinematically.
Later on, we will.
A lot of feelings come from how they do their shots, and that's going to help guide it. That's how I watch stuff. I'm perceiving everything from different layers. And okay, so then further on in the episode, we get to see stuff start finally rolling on. Not just in little isolated cases like the church. When they were out looking for Nick because he escapes the hospital, there's a wreck or something. Mm-hmm. As we saw in the trailer, there was footage. Of a guy grabbing a paramedic.
Well, he's like laying down on the ground.
Yeah.
He just grabs the
paramedic. He was on the
gurney. Gets up, starts fighting, resisting arrest.
They were beating the shit out of him.
They were.
They even comment that while they're watching it on a tablet in the classroom. They're like, "Look at him beating that guy."
Yeah, well, like, man.
It's like it's LA. You see people get beat all the time.
Yeah, these police officers are relentless, but later on,
it wasn't just police officers trying to stop this.
Like a firefighter or a paramedic guy, and They had to unload on him.
It was like 4 or 5 people, and they all shot him in the chest and went for the center of gravity kind of thing. And all he did was like do the limbo, laid back, and then he got right back up kind of thing.
Oh, and then
And then they had to do a kill shot, which you see from a second instance that is pulled up on the screen. First time we get to see it, we see it from a tablet that they pulled up in this classroom, and mainly the teachers are hovering around it, looking at it, it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. But the second time you see it is when Alicia, the daughter,
with her friends in class.
Friends in class, ignoring the teacher like we all did in high school.
Yeah, and they're just giving the same old comments that you saw in the trailer. It's the whole like, oh yeah, there's no way this is real.
There's no way it's real. Look at that. Oh, it's real. Look at this kill shot right here.
Boom, headshot. And then they're just enjoying that. But
it's right at that moment that the school got called for a half day. The principal is pretty nosy. And I don't know how long he's going to be in the series. I feel like I kind of got the half sense that guy is going to pop up again and be part of the group, but he's going to be that member of the group that everybody's like, Juice, throw him out.
Right.
He's going to be that guy from like every horror film where he has the right idea and he's going to convince everybody, hey, they're wrong. Follow me. Like, have you seen The Mist? That dude.
Yeah.
That dude who, the black guy, the older gentleman black guy who was the neighbor, who is like, no, I've heard all your bullshit before. People join me. Let's uprise. Let's not listen to this. Yeah. I kind of get that feeling. We'll see. I might be, most likely, be wrong.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I'm willing to see.
They kind of put the seeds in. Like, he was listening on the PA system on the teachers surveying. Or
he was doing a report.
Supposedly. Okay. He was very initiative with the whole Tobias. But granted, he was pretty quick to action with calling the half day, get the buses going and getting everybody out. But then we haven't seen any more about him yet. So Nick, after he got out of the hospital and he's wandering around, he gets himself a pay-as-you-go, quick little cheap phone.
Nice track phone that everybody has. Everybody's got a track phone. I've seen Breaking Bad. I know what's going on. Yeah.
And he's trying to get a hold of somebody. And you hear a couple times him make a call, and he leaves a message, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. And we don't know what that's all about.
Really? I mean, it's a junkie.
Well, it's a junkie, but it could have been a friend. It could have been the dealer. It could have been okay. Apparently, he was in the know, but I was confused.
I watched Breaking Bad.
I've seen Breaking Bad too.
What did they do with the track phones? They call someone and then break it. But since he couldn't get a hold of the person, he couldn't break it.
Not yet.
Exactly.
Got a hold of so-and-so, met up in a diner, which is another good instance of it was open windows and you could see the city and beyond. Yeah. Open yet again. And he goes to the corner booth, typically. Yes. And meets up with an individual that Madison and Travis, met up. It was a friend of Nick's.
Okay, this is one of his friends. Yeah, let's go see if he knows what his
they didn't know it's his dealer.
And boy, was he mad.
Yeah, he thought he got ratted out. And he kind of just didn't take a no for an answer. And so he played the whole comforting because Nick is still confused. He's on his personal mission to figure out if what he saw was real or not. And so, of course, he's asking his dealer, Calvin,
yo, what you give me?
What'd you lace it with?
Is it good stuff? Is it the bad stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just tripping. And this guy just goes, I know this is too much I can deal with. Does the fake comforting, like you could tell. You could just tell.
Gosh.
Yeah. I will say one thing about the acting of this individual who played Calvin. When he's trying to be inconspicuous.
Oh yeah.
He's I know we're learning this part of him that we didn't see just a moment ago when he was being all friendly. But now he's being a hard ass like he has to be, the dealer kind of thing. He Shatnered it. He was just like, okay, it's okay, buddy. It's okay, man. I'm gonna take care of you. He will not stop.
Yeah, he did the whole like, I'm gonna man what he's looking. But
he's wearing a cap, and he's got a dad. He's got a black jacket. He's like this, and he's like this, and most of the time. And then when he finally, he's like, go, come down. And then when Nick tried to leave, he was like, no, you come here,
stay here, yeah.
And he was forceful. I was like, could you be any more suspicious?
Exactly. It's like, wow. But
I know you need to help us visually, but No! Too much.
Mm-hmm.
Takes him out to those
the L.A. River.
The L.A. River, the cement one. I know there's a term for it. I don't live there.
It's the L.A. River.
Whatever. No, I mean for the cement. Thanks.
Oh, okay, I got you. It's
Drives right down in there like we all do in GTA 5 and run over the hobos. I'm not joking. I've hit so many hobos.
Oh my gosh.
I've hit so many hobos in that game.
The murderer. But who cares? That's all this TV show's about anyways. Killing people.
Takes him down there. He's like, everything's going to be okay. We all know nothing's going to be okay.
No, especially because he goes to the trunk first.
Goes to the trunk first. Then goes to the passenger door. Opens it and says, come on, Nick. And Nick looks at his offhand, which he's trying to poorly hide a gun on the other side of his thigh. You're like, how's this going to go down? Dumbass. Nick goes, okay, jumps. Like the moment he's got both feet on the ground, he goes for the gun and there's this struggle, right?
Yes, the classic struggle.
Classic struggle, classic.
One
the
shot,
character,
one kill.
The character you're following is going to be the one who gets away with it. Right. And of course, the gun ended up on the dude and got shot right here. Okay, Calvin got shot and it was good and it was blood, just a little spot right here. I'm not a complete idiot, all right? Someone who gets shot right here, there's going to be more blood than what they did, all right? They did a spot like that big on his white shirt. He got shot just right below the rib cage, or if anything, on the last or the second rib, all right? Right there. That's a lung, possibly the bottom of the heart, the esophagus, pancreas even, adrenal gland. There's important shit regardless. There would be more blood. There wasn't. Then when Nick finally called his parent, or his mother and the stepfather, and they came and picked him up, and he told them, I did something bad, I shot Calvin. Yeah. They went to go find the body, which, of course, we know.
Wasn't there, because he's a walker.
He's nowhere to be seen, but the car's still there, with the doors wide open.
Yeah.
That's another thing I want to know. They do not shut car doors at all. That bugs me.
There's no time for that.
No time for that,
Zombies everywhere.
When they don't know that it's a shit fest, they I know LA is not like that. There's no blood on the damn cement. So I had to make the note. I was just like, Nick feels even more insane because there's not a spot of evidence of what he just told them. There's just a car there. I was like, oh, if Calvin doesn't start creeping up on them, he's gonna go mental.
But no, they're like, oh look, let's just go home.
Let's leave.
Let's drive in reverse down the tunnel.
Well, yeah, they stopped in the tunnel. So, yeah, get back in the truck and then they take off. And what is lurking towards the truck from the entrance right behind him? Calvin.
Walker Calvin.
And Travis, of course, who's always been investigative and trying to help Nick, especially when he went and checked out the church after hearing the story and saw a lot of blood.
Well, he's trying to be a good. He's trying to be a good stepfather.
He goes and checks on Calvin, and Calvin, of course, immediately does the walker just for him.
Yeah, tries to bite, man. That's all he's got. It's instincts.
Yeah, a little tussle, but Nick is reacting quickly, jumps into the driver's seat, cranks that baby into reverse, and
floors it.
He could have hit his parents. He could have, because he was going. It was up to them to push and get to the wall.
All the way, and boom.
How convenient.
You just hit your dealer.
And did that stop him? No. He hit him hard enough and went on that he was now in front of the truck and got up. No problem. He hits him again.
This time going forward.
He lands on the hood, and then, of course, he stops at the end of the tunnel where the downcline into the river starts, and he just flies. He gets some air because that's where he stops. He slams on the brake. Calvin, boom, splatters. Well, not entirely. He's still in one piece, but he gets messed up.
Arm bone is sticking out of the shoulder and everything. It's awesome.
Then they finally have that dramatic moment where they all, he
like
gets out of the truck.
It's done.
They walk down halfway down the incline, and they look out at their body. It's just all mangled down there, and then sure enough, kind of shit, and fucked up bottom jaw, like grudge kind of shit. And you're like,
it was great.
You guys see now? You see now? Shit's getting crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was a decent first episode. It was pretty gradual with its action, and it cuts right there with them. Their realization went
crazy ass cliffhangers. What the fuck? Awesome. Makes me want to watch episode 2 now.
I mean, I'm gonna regardless. I don't care how this episode is gonna go. I'm gonna see how this show plays out.
I'm a fan.
Yes, we know.
Yes.
Decent first episode, good premiere. They did pretty well with characterization. I don't feel like they slammed us in the head repetitively.
No.
Some people are gonna bitch about that, but that's because they had way too much expectations going in. They thought it was gonna be like The Purge right there at the beginning.
Season 5 of Walking Dead. No, this is season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I personally liked it. I think IMDb rated it 8.2?
8.4?
8.4? 8 point something. I give it a solid 8 point something as well. I mean, it wasn't the greatest first episode, but it was awesome. I liked it.
They gave the overall series an 8.4, and that's after 2,300 users. Those are the users. And I guarantee you, the majority of those only saw the premiere just last night. So, that's basically the rating for the first episode. I don't know how the view ratings go, but I feel like a lot of people tuned in. I mean, there was a lot of tweets about it, and most likely a lot of review videos. I'm glad you're watching ours.
So glad.
We're going to do more of these. Actually, we're going to do every episode of Fear the Walking Dead, and probably The Walking Dead, from here on out. Jonathan, you ready for this?
Yes.
You know why?
Why?
Because it's Fear the Off Topic.
No. None of that.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, and be sure to check out Walking Dead season premiere on October 11th. Oh yeah. It's Jonathan, David.
See you guys next time.